All right, all right, all right. Hello, hello. How are you? Right now, we are on research on sleep and mental health, the relationship between our quality and our quantity of sleep and our mental health. And of course, our physiological health, our physical health, and our mental health, they go hand in hand. This is the research I've used. A lot of it, sleep is important. Let's go through some of the stuff. Here we go. What does your brain do while it's sleeping? It is incredibly important for learning, for gaining knowledge. Your brain sorts through and processes information. It stores information. It consolidates information. What does that mean? It means that all the stuff that you put your effort in during the day, at nighttime, your brain takes it, puts it where it needs to be, keeps it so that you can use it, right? And then, like I said, puts it in a way that it'll get you ready for tomorrow. Your brain's doing that while you're sleeping, all right? And yes, it's crucial, critical because it paves the way for new learning the next day. What else does it do? Over on the right, it has a lot to do with your immune system, the sleep. When you are asleep, your immune system releases cytokines, and these help your body fight infections, inflammation, and other traumas that your body is experiencing. When we are sleep deprived, when we continuously stay up at night for whatever reasons, which we'll get into in a minute, it messes up our immune system. We need to sleep so that it can do its job. Now to the middle on the left, growth hormones while you're sleeping. Growth hormones are released, helping your body grow and repair. We don't heal properly when we're not sleeping properly, okay? And it just has so much to do with it. I'm going to keep saying that over and over again because our society does not value sleep, all right? We do not value sleep. The education system at certain levels, especially high school, doesn't value sleep. It just doesn't. All right. So we have to put an emphasis on it, which is why I'm kind of repeating myself over and over again. Also, in addition to the growth hormones, melatonin is released. What does that do? It helps you sleep. And when you're sleeping properly, the melatonin is there to help you sleep. And it sets your body clock in motion for the cortisol to come out and help you wake up and to get stuff done during the day. And you work super hard during the day, and your body is now on a good rhythm. And that rhythm allows you to wind down. And now it's time for you to go to sleep again. And boom. And then the melatonin, and then it all keeps moving. Okay? Now, the big box on the right. This has a lot to do with how we deal with life. All right. When you get the right amount and the right kind of sleep, that's the quantity and quality, something called your sympathetic system, your nervous system chills out. Now, during the day, we need our sympathetic nervous system to help us in case of danger. All right. And it also, when we use it right, it helps us deal with stress in a good way. But we don't deal with stress in a good way typically. We let stressors, is what they're called, things that quote unquote bring us stress. We, we interpret those as danger all day long, and they're not, because we're never taught how to deal in an effective way with things that, like I said, bring us quote unquote stress. And we're going to talk about stress in a minute. So, at nighttime, when you're sleeping right, this fight or flight, system that we use during the day when we really just need it, as opposed to all the time, it doesn't get turned off. Okay? And when it doesn't get turned off and stays on all night, now it's hyper vigilant during the day. And it's this really bad, bad, bad cycle of always in stress, always in anxious, always nervous, always worried. Okay, and I'm using the word always like too much. All right. And then it makes it hard for us to chill enough to go to sleep properly at night. And they keep feeding off each other in the worst way. And now, yeah, and I'm sleep deprived because of my stress. Okay. And now it's harder for me during the day to deal with stress in an effective way because I'm sleep deprived because of my stress. All right. We're going to talk more about that in a second. In the star, these are the best hours to be asleep. 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Those are like the prime hours for our brain to do all this cool stuff, all right, that it needs to do, and our body to do all this cool stuff that it needs to do while we're asleep. All right, let's go on to some more. Woo! Breathing. I almost said breath work and breathing all at the same time, but breath work and breathing, super crucial for sleep. When we breathe through our mouth, like all day, and short breaths, and we breathe too rapidly, our body interprets that as something to be worried about. Okay, so we have to adopt nasal breathing, just breathing through our nose all day and slower than usual. When you stop breathing through your mouth during the day, your mouth is not made for you to breathe through. Maybe exhale, yeah, but not to inhale. Your nose is built for inhaling for a bunch of reasons. Your nose sets the air up to be used properly, okay? And it allows it to get to where it's supposed to get. When you breathe through your mouth, it doesn't get where it's supposed to get. Yeah, it keeps you alive, but that's it. Okay, over on the right. When your sleep pattern is right, it allows your brain to deep clean. That's right. Not too long ago, in terms of time, they found what's called the glymphatic system. And what it does is, while you sleep especially, it gets rid of toxins that build up and metabolic waste that builds up during the day. You work hard. You have all this information coming through, and it's a lot. You're learning a bunch of new stuff, and we have toxins that build up in our brain just like we do in our body, and we need to get rid of them. When we don't sleep, that stuff builds up. All right. And there's a lot of research pointing to when folks that are older get like dementia, Alzheimer's, those types of things, it started building up in their 20s, 30s, and 40s because they weren't sleeping properly. Okay. That's fairly simplistic, right? There's other factors, but sleep is a big part because that's when this glymphatic system really goes into work mode. Over on the left in the middle, they did a research study, and people that didn't sleep right, they dealt with stress way worse than people that were getting good quality and quantity sleep. So when I'm sleep deprived, I deal with stuff that's really not that big of a deal, like it's a huge life-changing thing. Okay. Whereas if I get my sleep right, the stuff that really is not that big of a deal, I deal with it like it's not that big of a deal. And when something is really difficult, I deal with it better. Now we're on the right, the bottom right. Inadequate sleep takes a toll on our psychological well-being. All right. Why? How? Because when you're sleep deprived, you do not look at things the right way. You don't interpret events properly. Okay? And it makes our stress levels worse. Now we're down at the bottom, the very bottom left. It creates changes in our mood. Why? Because once again, it messes up how we interpret things, how we remember things. You're not thinking clearly when you're sleep deprived. It's hard to focus. It's hard to concentrate. It's hard to remember the way that you can when you're getting your sleep. So all this means is that we when we're sleep deprived, when we don't get the right amount of sleep and the right quality sleep, we remember negative stuff more. And what's really dumb is our brain works to actually look for negative stuff because that's what its job is to do, is to keep us alive, right? So now I'm sleep deprived and I'm just multiplying that. Here we go. Now we're on to the health factors of not getting the right amount of sleep. Okay, and when we don't feel well, when we're not healthy, that totally affects our mental health. Not sleeping right can lead to hypertension. It can lead to overweight and type 2 diabetes. None of my stuff is about like body types or you're overweight or you don't look good. None of my stuff is like that. That's not what this is about. It's not about like your shape or anything. This is about our health. So what happens when I don't sleep the right amount of hours and the right quality sleep, my body interprets that oh my God, they need more energy. So what I need to do is we're going to store this fat over here, okay, to use for later because they're up all the time or their brain is always working like as if it was awake and they're not sleeping. So I need to this is your body talking. Your body's like, let me just store this stuff up over here. Whereas when we're asleep, your body's like, yeah, all right, let me just burn up all these calories at night. Back to the growth hormone. So when I'm sleep, like during the day when I work out, I'm actually tearing my muscles down while I'm working out, right? When I'm sleep is when I get swole. They repair, they get bigger. The muscles, that's what happens. Okay? So, when you work out during the day to see some gains, you have to get your sleep in order to see the gains that you put the work in for. All right, still back up at the top on the left. So, not sleeping right can lead to hypertension. What's hypertension, right? Is high blood pressure, overweight, and type 2 diabetes. Okay? Next up, it messes up our immune system. We talked about that. Cardiovascular disease, heart stuff. Okay? And it's all tied to, am I going to let my body rest at night? Am I going to let my brain rest so that it can do what it does while it's asleep? I mean, your brain never rests, but it needs rest from me, so it can do what it needs to do, which is help regulate all my stuff, all my systems. Okay. Not sleeping right leads to mood disorders. Okay. Depression, especially. Okay. Dementia, we talked about that. And then even loneliness. I become more negative when I'm sleep deprived. Okay. I don't think folks like me because I'm not thinking clearly because I'm sleep deprived. Okay. Loneliness is a real thing even when I'm around people. It just makes me, when I'm sleep deprived, it makes me not think clearly. And again, over on the right, how you breathe during the day has a huge effect. I'm saying it again. Breathe through your nose all day and breathe slower than usual. All right, it creates a much better foundation for quality sleep. Over on the left, exercise in the morning, even for only 10 minutes. Why? Because it sets your body clock right. You exercise in the morning, your body's like, cool. Let me use the rest of this day to do some more work because we're up, we're at it, we're getting busy. Let's go. And then as you work during the day, your body clock, because you were doing stuff during the morning and not just sleeping in or sitting on a couch watching Netflix or whatever, man, now your body clock is like, yeah, we're at it, we're making stuff happen. And afternoon, early evening, it starts doing the body clock thing and starts getting you ready for sleep. In the middle, these two boxes are, I know I said everything is important. Well, everything is important. This is important. Ask yourself these two questions. How do you view stress? is if it's negative, that's what's part of the problem. Okay. How do you react to stressors? And once again, stressors are things that that quote unquote create stress. Okay. So how do you think of stress? Like when things are difficult or something challenging comes up or something new comes up or something I didn't predict comes up, like all that stuff. How do you view that? How do you react when your body gets that little tightness in it or that little, feeling of, oh my God? When we react negatively to that, that causes problems. All right, let's look at the very, very bottom box, right? We need stress. Stress helps me get started on stuff. That feeling of, hey, something is important. I need to really pay attention to this. A little bit of stress helps me to get things done. All right, it helps me to understand that whatever is bringing that sensation of feeling stressed, it's important. So I better pay attention to it, right? Excited and nervous are the same body reaction. And a lot of people interpret nervous as, oh, I'm stressed, I'm stressed. First of all, we need to stop saying I'm stressed. We need to get more specific. Are you nervous? Are you scared? Are you worried? Are you sad? Like sadness from stress. Like we can't just say I'm stressed. It's too broad and we get out too easy from that. We have to be really specific. So watch, excited and nervous, your body feels the same. So just twist it into, you know what, I'm excited to figure out how I can solve this challenge. And now your brain stops tripping so hard. But when you keep saying, I'm nervous, I'm stressed, I'm scared, oh my God, oh my God, your brain hears that and is like, okay, I got to fight somebody. I got to fight something. And yeah, sometimes we do, but more often than not, we're just making stuff up in our head about why we're so stressed out. We need to learn to breathe through stress. You just go to the YouTube channel Together Tuesday, not TO together, but the number 2 together Tuesday, and put in Together Tuesday breath work. That's a great short video on how to breathe through stress. And then we need to use accurate thinking to challenge your negative thoughts. Okay? And that is another lesson on the same YouTube channel. Okay? We have got to start learning how to have a better reaction to stress. Okay? And then before I go to bed, just mostly here in the middle, please try and stay off social media. It has to do, not that social media is evil or whatever, depending on how you react to it, but we get so much information pumped into us all day from various locations. We need about an hour before, a half hour, 2 hours before we go to sleep to stop having information pumped into us. Okay? And yes, the light part of it is a trip too. So make sure you got the night shift feature on your iPhone, the night mode feature on your Android. My Mac computer screen, it changes the light when it gets into evening time. But there's justgetflux.com has a free download to help cut down the light on your computer screen, okay? Then I make a list of gratitude. Why? Because it puts me in a good frame of mind. And I'm not even talking about being positive. I'm just saying about not being negative. All right. Gratitude makes me have perspective. Okay. Then I plan my day for tomorrow. Why? Because I don't want to think about tomorrow anymore. I'm just going to put it down. This is what I want to accomplish. This is what I would like to do. All right. And then what's a trip is while you're asleep, if you're sleeping properly, your brain will help you figure it out while you're sleeping. It's amazing. Okay? You will wake up with answers when you get your sleep. And then before I go to sleep, I say a quick prayer. I'm not talking about anybody needing to be in a particular religion or whatever, or you can be. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying for me personally, this is my nighttime routine. I do say a quick prayer, and I'm really asking for everyone to be healthy, like literally everyone, to be healthy and safe, okay? And then I'm asking for strength and guidance because I feel like um, I want to live in service. I want to help others, and I want to be able to help myself and those around me, okay? And I need strength and guidance for that, okay? Um, and then I really do, like, look, I'm creating the best life I can. Uh, I am amazing, right? And I do work hard, okay? And that's like who I am. I'm a lifelong learner. I'm a hard worker. I listen to others, right? That's who I try and be. And then I let myself go to sleep, and we just don't give up, okay? That was a lot, all right? But I would play this, once in a while, like once a week or whatever, until you get the hang of it. And once again, what are we asking our schools to do? To elevate mental wellness skills and emotional intelligence skills equal to academics. We have to practice this stuff, okay? And when your teachers realize just how important sleep is, maybe they'll look at how much stuff they're giving you, okay? And I don't know, that's a way, this is a way to advocate for you to be able to, not have so much stuff thrown at you, like usually at the same time, right? Okay. I appreciate you guys. We love you very much. It's gonna work out. We just gotta put these skills to use. All right, let's get some sleep. All right, peace.